you guys had found your way back to the bottom of that blackened section of the dungeon, and then proceeded to make your way through the remaining floors of the dungeon back up to the top and into the 60 by 60 room with finished walls and a flagstone floor. The chamber is awash with soft illumination and the tinge of burning incense. To the south is a set of double doors hanging ajar to a cavern from whence you came. To the west is an open archway, and a human man stands there adorned in archaic gold plate, gesturing to allow you forward through the entrance to Mitra's tower. As the kind of fog that had been blocking your vision into that begins to fade, you can see that the entrance archway is a 20-foot wide hall, which goes 50 feet to a set of stairs which ascend. Flanking the bottom of the stairs at either side are two pairs of closed stone doors. And all of that part past the tower is made out of this, kind of soft white marble stone.
So which way to Mitra's tower?
Forward.
All right. Unless we have anything else we want to do here, I think we proceed to Mitra's tower, since that's where we're going.
Okay.
Math checks out.
Gotta
Sure.
go in there, defeat Set, and lift the curse.
Yeah, so I suppose Squash leading the way, you guys step into the hall. As you do, soft gold lettering begins to glow on the facing side of the step. So not the top runner, but not the tread, but the part that's like the vertical part of each step.
The riser.
The riser, yes, thank you. Could not think of the term. And it begins to spell out an abjuration. Where, ye pilgrim, ye have been touched by the hand of Mitra. Cause no evil in this, his tower, else ye shall die most horribly. After a few moments, the lettering begins to fade.
Well, if Set is here, then, well, I guess he's already dead, so maybe it did work. I don't know.
What?
It says if you cause any evil here, you'll die most horribly.
Right.
But apparently there's a lich here?
No, that's the other tower.
Then why are we going here?
To acquire the insight of Mitra.
Which we need to lift the curse.
No.
Why do we need the insight of Mitra?
Because that's why we're here.
Oh, we're here to get the insight of Mitra? I thought we were here to
Correct.
lift the curse.
No, that's a bonus.
Okay. Yep. So nobody cause any evil here. I say looking suspiciously at everyone.
God, I haven't
Except
done
the great and
anything.
mighty Sam, of course.
I'm
What?
the moral compass of the party.
Seriously?
I
You
trust Sam.
profiled.
I only dabble in a lot of necromancy.
Well, don't do any here. Well, actually, I guess only you will die most horribly, so do as much as you want.
Checks notes. Looks like half of the healing being necromancy.
Can you really say that life transference is evil necromancy?
No,
After all,
that's
it's
good
life
necromancy.
voluntarily given.
To safeguard another's life.
Exactly.
Nobody's going to
much-
begrudge you for using Revivify in here. I think that they're talking about, like, create undead or dance macabre.
But
Well, no,
what if the person whose corpse is being used consented to necromancy?
Doesn't matter. The kind of brainless, enthralled undead that those spells create are an abomination upon all life and should not exist.
I mean,
I don't see it as drastically different from animate object. It's not tampering with the soul, it's just recycling the body for a while.
Perhaps we should table this conversation to a location that might not be, trying to smite us.
No, I like this location because when we're here, I'm right.
I agree with the paladin.
Anyway,
I'm
let's
gonna-
proceed.
I'm going to stand over to Squash's right and be more right than Squash.
Squash rotates 180 degrees. Aha. All right. No, I think we go further into the tower and see what we can see.
Right. So you're looking at this, 20-foot wide, now 40-foot long hallway. 'Cause you've progressed a little bit into it, which goes immediately to a set of stairs which ascends. To either side of the foot of the stair is a pair of stone doors, one going north, one going west.
Well, what do we think? North or west?
North.
All right. North it is.
Okay. You approach the northern pair of closed marble doors. Your footfalls kind of echoing off the walls as you approach. Are you opening the doors?
Yes.
Okay. So you open the doors, revealing a semicircular room. Appears to be laid out much like a barracks. Lined along the curved wall are 10 cots, complete with blankets and pillows. Iron-bounded chests are positioned at the foot of each cot. And as you look into this room, you can see that there is a thick layer of dust over everything.
Sorry, did you say if there were additional exits to this room?
There are no additional exits that you can see.
Well, anybody want to have a look at what's in here? Perhaps see if there's anything magical or hidden.
I believe I shall. Detect magic.
Okay. You do detect magic. Well, you don't detect any specific magic in the room, though you do notice that the marble, like the floor, the walls, the ceilings here, the marble that makes up this portion of the dungeon is, magical with abjuration magic.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
You do not detect any other magic.
I identify.
Okay. It appears to be guards and wards.
All right, well, I'm not really saying anything of note here, guys.
Okay, other door.
All right, you walk across the hall to the, southern pair of stone doors. You open them?
Yep.
All right. This also appears to be a room of semicircular in shape, also laid out as a barracks. 10 more cots along this curved wall, each complete with blanket and pillow, an iron-bound chest at the foot of each cot. Also all covered in a thick layer of dust. This room, however, has a low wooden table with 4 chairs with stubby legs occupying the center of the room.
Okay, let's
Sit in
repeat.
the chair. You should sit in the chair.
I'll stand next to someone sitting in the chair.
I'll sit in the chair then.
Okay.
Okay.
I stand within 10 feet.
Works for us.
All right, Duodecus, you walk over to the chair.
Wait, hold on. How far away he say he was sitting?
10
Within
feet.
10 feet.
Yeah, just along within the aura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, little dust trails kind of wafting out as you kind of step into this room. You guys can clearly see on the floor where he's disturbed the layer of dust. He pulls out this chair and he squats down on it because it's much shorter than you would expect to it. It's almost like it's made for children.
Mm-hmm.
And the chair feels sturdy enough, though, you know, with your knees all the way up at your chest, it's not exactly the most comfortable of seating arrangements.
I don't know, man. I've been walking all day. All right. Well, gentlemen, it's a chair.
Okay.
I get up.
I get up.
All right, yeah, you stand up. Bit more of the dust kind of wafting around, you having disturbed it all.
Those are the only 2 doors in here?
Yes, and
Uh,
and there's also the 20-foot wide stairs that ascend.
Well, I think up is the way. I forgot about the stairs.
Okay. I'm sorry, descend, not ascend.
Oh. And here I thought this
My
was a tower.
mistake.
I guess we descend.
Okay. So you descend. It goes about 60 feet down, 60 feet forward. The end of the stairs, it ends in a awkwardly to describe intersection. Immediately to your north is an open archway, and you can smell the odor of hot, nourishing food kind of wafting out of that area. The wall to the north is carved and made of pure white marble, and tiles of alternating white and green marble cover the floor. Several glowing glass globes are mounted on the ceiling, and the walls are covered with chalk markings and doodles. In the center of the room stands a clay statue, perhaps some 12 feet tall. Its forearms and fists are oversized, and a roaring lion's head is engraved upon its chest. That's to the north. To the west, straight ahead as you come down the stairs, it looks like the hallway makes a hairpin turn.
Man, this is weird. I was expecting like a... Well, I don't know what I was expecting, but not Kittyland.
I Yeah. Hmm. Do you think we've been dungeon delving too long? That we no longer possess childlike wonder and the ability to enjoy things that aren't the violent destruction of our enemies?
No, I was afraid it was going to turn out that I was just a child's plaything all along.
Under, am I standing on a base?
No.
Oh, good. No, I don't think we're child's playthings.
Okay. All right. What are the chalk drawings of?
Go ahead and make a intelligence religion check.
Okay, I don't know what the chalk drawings are of. Anybody else know what they're of?
Under?
Make an
What are they?
intelligence religion check.
Ah. Religion.
I think I have proficiency in that. I do have proficiency in that.
Well,
What do you say?
as you look at it, you begins to stand out to you exactly what it is. As you look over there and you see the symbology of Tesdona, the good goddess of infamy, a symbol for Pharazil, the good god of mercy, Rithis, the good goddess of love, Vozear, the good god of the rivers, Ehere, the good goddess of miracles, Odar, the good god of finance, Ahir, the good god of shelter, Agagi, the good god of weddings, Guva, the good goddess of fertility, Thymna, the good goddess of endings, Aita, the good goddess of blessing, Ayana, the good goddess of winter, Eaton, the good god of health, and finally, Ulo, the good god of dusk.
I guess they're,
They're all the good gods.
yeah, kid must have drawn this after they got back from church.
Hmm. Insight.
Sure, go ahead and make an insight check. Well, the white marble walls, the sketches of good gods, symbology is what is very obviously an inactive clay golem. I mean, it's very much adding up to like that. This was like part of the security system. You do any evil, that this golem gets infused with the wrath of the good gods, and it comes and tunes your ass up.
Hmm.
Well, I guess we can continue down the hall around that. Oh wait, was there a door leading off into a room before that hairpin turn?
No, just the opening into this room that has the symbols and the golem.
Right, that was in a room. Okay. Yeah, well, I don't want to mess with that golem, so I think we can just keep going.
Okay. So you go around that hairpin turn, and you're looking down this 20-foot wide hallway. To the north, masonry wall. To the south, a deep purple drape, kind of concealing anything beyond. So it makes it look like it's a hallway. The odor of hot food and freshly baked bread pervades this area. And along the northern wall is an eclectic collection of ornate, common, and even crudely constructed tables and chairs, sized for various heights. To the south, the purple drapes conceal the rest of the chamber, and straight ahead, at the other side of the chamber from you, you can see a stone staircase spiraling downward into darkness.
So we've got a checkered floor and a hallway with curtains for walls.
One of the walls, just the southern wall of the hall.
Okay. You got me worried under. I thought we had entered the Purple Lodge or something.
I get your reference.
Yes. My character has 2 nostrils. Does my directional olfactory sense allow me to ascertain the source of the aroma?
It's definitely coming from the south, the other side of the drapes.
Okay.
Wait, directional olfactory? Wait, what?
Why do you think you have 2 nostrils? Same reason you have 2 eyes. So you can tell which way a smell is coming from.
Huh.
Unless your character only has 1 nostril.
No, I'm just I'm thinking about that now, like in life.
Yeah, well, you've got smelloscopic vision, just like you've got telescopic vision. So do we want to go behind the curtain, so to speak?
Yeah.
Okay, I go through the curtain.
Okay, you go up to the curtain.
Well, actually, I guess I'd have to find a place where it parts, so I start looking for one.
Well, I just figured you would go just to the edge.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to lift it. I want to see if there's, like, an opening.
Well, yeah, as you get to the edge of it, you can kind of look up and see it's got like little iron rings on a bar. So you could probably just slide it across.
Yeah, but this is covering the entire length of a hallway, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So where am I going into it from? Am I going like
The
at
west
the start
side.
of the... Okay, yeah, then I'd pull it back from the left side and go through.
Yeah. As you pull it back, behind it you can see a small, cramped kitchen area. A hearth is built into the southern wall. Several large kettles full of simmering stew hang above the fire, and a mold of bread loaves rests on a nearby table. Arrayed against the walls are 3 bronze statues, each in the likeness of a 7-foot-tall warrior. The statues are green with verdigris. And on the ground, also covered in a thick layer of dust, are 4 small skeletons, almost childlike in their size.
Sorry, how were the skeletons positioned?
Laying on the ground in
Okay.
various positions, as if randomly cast down.
Now, when you say they're skeletons, are the bones like attached by anything, or are these in a state of partial decay, or are these just 4 people worth of bones?
This is like if a body had been left out and let the flesh rot away, and the bones are all that's left.
Okay. Well, I'm asking if the bones are attached together by anything, or are the tendons and ligaments still intact, or are they just lying there like that?
They don't appear to be.
Okay. Well, since we're not supposed to do any evil here, we probably shouldn't eat the food, because it's not ours.
Perhaps we're supposed to do something with the food.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Could you describe the statues?
Sure. So there are 3 tall, 7-foot-tall bronze statues, kind of arrayed at like cardinal points around this kitchen. They are green with verdigris. And from what you can tell, they're like they were like cast in like nightly figures, kind of like looking over the kitchen.
Okay. They're all identical?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, they've got like a kite shield with the point down on the plinth, both hands on top of the kite shield to hold it there, and then kind of slightly tilted forward as if to look down upon the whole room.
Okay, so we've got the We've got the kitchen watch watching over the kitchen. And I'm assuming that somebody came here before and failed whatever this test is, which I'm assuming it's a test, and that happened to them.
But are they children or halflings?
Make a medicine check.
Mm.
You can't tell the difference.
Under.
Mm.
Religiously, is there any kind of ritual that's done involving bread?
Make a religion check. There is like a typical harvest feast. It's kind of celebrating Guva, the good goddess of fertility, in the autumn. That involves, ritually baking, a special type of bread and then sharing it as part of the feast meal. Other than that, not really. There's no like routine ritual done with bread.
Well, we could just leave it alone.
Well, at the very least, we should probably say something over the bodies. We've done it for most of the other corpses we've encountered. We should do it for them too. Do you want to say a few words?
Well, I don't know if they died horribly because they did evil in this place. But whether they deserved whatever happened to them or not, I hope they're at peace now.
We don't have to speak with dead, do we?
I only have speak with dead, God is in heaven.
Well, if we've said some words for them, then I guess let's proceed.
Okay. Yeah, so you say like your typical rites of, last rites type stuff. And then you're proceeding down the dusty hallway past the tables and to the set of stairs descending into darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so you begin descending the spiraling stairs, which they're 20 feet wide and follow a nice gentle arc down, about 80 feet or so. At the base, you're looking at like a quarter round room. Like if you look down it from the top, it's a quarter round. So, to your left is a flat wall, to your right is a flat wall, and then the other, what would be a triangle is actually a curved wall. And along that left wall to the south are two arched openings. The one at the very bottom of the stairs you can see immediately goes to a landing and another smaller set of stairs descending down further. Further afield, you can see an archway leading to the left to another room. And kind of just laying on the ground, covered in dust in this nearly empty room, are what appear to be 3 more skeletons, though these are not just the bones like you saw upstairs, but they appear to be coated in what looks to be rusty ring mail.
All right, I'm back.
Hmm. Well, I guess we'll say a few words for them and proceed.
Yep.
Should I do gentle repose while we're at it? I mean, I think it is necromancy, but I find it hard to think that's considered evil by any stretch of the imagination.
I suppose, but I mean they are dead.
Yeah, gentle repose doesn't work on living people, it only works on dead people.
I mean, if you wish to.
We might as well. We've
Okay.
got 10 minutes per person, right? We're not in any rush.
I don't think we are.
All right, I'll ritual cast gentle repose while the last rites are going on.
Okay. So as you walk forward to cast Gentle Repose on them, your foot hits covering. It was covered by dust. A small shield, and your foot when it hits it, kind of shakes the dust from it. You can see faded on the paint because it looks like the shield is facing upward. There was a symbol painted on the front of it, though it has long faded. You can make out that it appears to be a symbol of a roaring lion's head.
Is there any like heraldry on the bodies that would match this lion's head?
Well, unfortunately, the ring mill here is rusted, and the bodies have decomposed to just bones. So you can't really tell. The clothes are long gone.
Is there only the one body?
There are 3 bodies here.
All right. I will go off the assumption that the shield is this person in ring mails and put the shield with the body.
Mm-hmm.
Warriors are to be buried with their weapons and all that. And then proceed with the gentle repose.
Sure. Yeah, you proceed with Gentle Repose. There's no problems. Go to the next one. You find another shield, the same symbol painted on it, and the same for the third.
Is this heraldry that I would recognize?
Yes, this is the symbol of Mitra, the paladin that built the tower.
Hmm. Three people with shields using Mitra's heraldry, or at least iconography. I don't think these are just bodies. I think these bodies are themselves a test. I think it's a little too much of a coincidence that bodies of the paladin that built the tower would be left in the tower to decompose like this.
So what would the test be?
I don't know.
Not raising them?
Possibly.
I mean, I suppose there's a necromancer next door.
You don't even have to go next door.
You're sanctioned. That's different.
I am? Since when? And by who?
Source, I made it the fuck up. um. Hmm. Well, I imagine we'll find it. Sorry. It's been a long day for me. I suppose we'll find out as we proceed.
Do followers of Mitra have their own like funerary rites?
Not that you would know of.
All right, I'll figure it out as we go then.
Okay, well, there are two archways out of this room, both on the southern wall. One you can see because you came down next to it, goes immediately to a landing and a set of spiraling stairs, these only 15 feet wide, that descend down into darkness. The other looks to connect to another room.
Let's check out that other room.
Okay. So, as you look through the archway, you can see a chamber fitted with pure white marble tiles. And seated, like cats at the far end of this chamber, which is some like 50 feet away, three proud creatures, sitting attentively as if awaiting your arrival. Each looks like a powerful lion with a white feathery wings and a human head annulated by a shaggy mane of hair. They look like this. And when you poke your head around there, Duodecius, the one in the middle begins to speak. Greetings, young pilgrims. It has been some time since anyone has ventured into Mitra's tower. Please, come forward and identify yourselves.
I step forward and identify myself,
Mm-hmm.
truthfully.
Does everybody?
Yes.
All parties lead.
Okay. The one in the middle speaks again and says, I am Rosoon. He nods to the creature to your left. This is my brother Dohavin, and this is my other brother, Eomir. What brings you to this abandoned place?
We seek the inside of Mitra.
Given that Mitra has shuffled off his mortal coil for some time, I assume you mean the artifact, so called.
Yes, we require it to lift a curse.
Oh? I was unaware that it had such capability. What curse is it lifting?
What?
Is that not why we need this thing?
No. Squash. We were sent by the church to acquire the inside of Mitra so that we could, like, bully evil entities of an even greater scale, like that dragon.
Do we not care about the curse anymore?
No. We were sent to this town to retrieve the inside of Mitra. The town is cursed.
Oh, okay, so the curse is just a problem, it's not our problem.
Well, yes and no. The curse is an obstacle.
Okay. I was mistaken.
Ideally,
We do not believe it has the power to lift the curse upon the town. We need it for other noble purposes.
Which are?
Battling evil.
How very generic.
Well, the church sent us.
I present the right. The edict.
He kind of like grabs it like with his claws and sort of splays it out on the ground and reads it, lets it furl back up, and just kind of kicks it towards you. A most interesting document. The church, when this tower was built, was not so organized. Still, I suppose such things are inevitable with the passing of time.
I also tell him about the dragon.
Yes, one of the primordial titans. To release them would be to usher in calamity, though this I'm sure you know.
Mm-hmm. Yup.
Are you aware of what Mitra's insight does? Or are you merely errand boys for this church?
We've
Hey,
been
I'm
told
Dove
that it
King.
will help them
Seven.
locate
I'm a
uh
boy.
stuff related to these primordials. If I recall, I think it was weak points. Honestly, under it's been a really long time.
The creature chuckles a bit and says, "That is not quite what it does. Mitra's insight is only called that because Mitra found it. He did not make it himself, and what it does is twofold. It can, when placed upon such a seal as the titanic seals that dot Lyris, it can indicate the relative strength of the divine wards in place on it, and thus if they are faltering. The other thing that this artifact does is that if you hold it and speak its command word, will cause you to be unable to be perceived by a primordial titan.
That's interesting.
We certainly thought so. Unfortunately, so did Set.
It's in his part of the tower.
Not originally. It was originally here. Mitra built this tower, while in part to secure the lands around it and to ensure prosperity, but also to serve as a safe place to store the insight, should it ever be needed. Set has stolen it. But, fortunately, Set has been unable to remove it from this locale. While it is no longer in the Tower of Mitra, Set's tower cannot be moved so long as the insight is within it.
Are you saying Set's tower could be moved if the insight weren't within it?
Yes.
That's interesting. Do you know why the insight does that? Is there some enchantment that prevents it from being removed from here?
It is because it can only be removed from here by those with good intentions.
Oh,
And
well, that'll
Set
be easy.
never had any of those.
What would one with ill intentions want with Mitra's insight anyway?
I do not know. Perhaps to destroy it? To prevent those who would seek to protect this world from doing so? Perhaps he hoped to be able to reverse it, to instead of indicating the strength, but to sap it instead.
Hmm. Well, it sounds like we're going to have to fight Set, which will probably also get rid of the curse, if my hunch is right, to get the insight. So that's like 3 birds with 1 stone.
How many stones do we have?
That's a shame my sister's not here. Well, I mean, now we understand what our next step is. Does anybody have any other questions?
I do. Insight check?
Sure, make an insight check. They, the way these creatures have been moving and speaking is unnatural. You don't think that they are biological in origin.
What, that they're celestials?
Or fae, or fiends, or constructs.
Wait, what?
I said or constructs even. You know, you can't really tell. You can tell by looking at that they move in unnatural means. What manner of that unnaturalness requires a bit more than just a passive insight like that.
Ah, well, divine sense.
Ah! They are in fact celestials.
Okay. Is this place consecrated?
It is.
All right, that's all that tells me, and
Thank-
I figured anyway.
Thank you, Pete.
Now we know.
My first instinct immediately went to
What, attack them and smite and see how much damage it does?
no, God, no. I was beginning to suspect that by the sounds of it, there might have been an illusion masking them.
No.
You know, the foul works of evil.
Evil!
Because I'm incapable of trusting.
Well, they would, I don't know if even Nistles would make them ping incorrectly on divine sense. I think
It-
Nistles only works for detect magic.
It's for spells like detect magic. I think that's the only one specified. But
Yeah. But divine sense isn't a spell.
You can change the school of magic that something appears to be, or make something magical appear non-magical, or vice versa.
Mm,
It would have no effect on divine sense, because divine sense doesn't work in any of that stuff.
yeah. You can't make it appear as like a different creature type or something.
Oh, actually, nope, sorry. I guess I should have kept reading, because there's a whole other paragraph.
I was gonna say.
The
Yeah,
mask
do
effect.
that.
You can change the way targets appears to spells and magical effects that detect types, such as
Okay.
Paladin's Divine Sense or the trigger of a symbol spell.
Never mind.
Called out.
So yes, you could use Nistle's Magic Aura to make a fiend appear like a celestial, or vice versa.
Yeah, but we know that he didn't because Under didn't know that.
or he's a very good actor.
Now there's metagaming. Well, I trust him. So are we ready to go back to Set's part of the tower and go bully a lich?
Is there any further to go in here? Any help we can acquire?
We've already acquired some pretty strong help.
There is not anymore. Once this tower was a bastion of good, and you could have expected to have received great amounts of reinforcement here. Dust and bones, I'm afraid, are all that's left. And us.
Have we had a chance to rest recently?
Hmm. Yeah, this might be a good place to do that. Is it approaching that time, or have we just started the day?
It's about midday.
Okay.
The creature, Rosun, that began speaking, I would, however, suggest that you lot look ragged. You look exhausted. Fighting your way to here through the forces of Set must not have been easy. This tower, while it could not stand up to a direct assault by Set, is still sufficiently protected against his minions. I would bid you to stay, to rest and recover as long as you need before taking the fight to Set in his dark tower.
That does remind me of another question I had. Why are there 3 skeletal bodies in the kitchen?
A look of sadness overcomes the figure. Blidit, Forgot It, and Twag. Good cooks. Unfortunately, when the forces of Set rampaged through the tower, they needed more than just a hot frying pan to defend themselves. They fell when the tower was assaulted.
Is there a reason they haven't been properly laid to rest? Are you not able to do that?
We are limited in what and where we can go. Mitra had this room sanctified especially to allow us to manifest here so that we could offer guidance and assistance, but we cannot leave this room.
Okay, well, we can take care of them while we're here.
That would be most appreciated.
And nobody will mind if we eat the food in there.
Of course not.
All
The
right.
tower is enchanted to provide sustenance and protection, succor, if you will,
What do you call it? No.
for all who seek its embrace on the side of good.
Yeah, that'll do nicely.
If there are any material objects in the tower that you think you can find a use for, feel free to take them as well. There is no one left here to make use of them.
Well, you hear that, Beta? We can rest here until you're well.
When you are ready to face the forces of Set, come see us again. There is some magical boons we can give you. A ward against death, for instance. And we have a limited ability to at least make your journey easier.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Thank you.
Of course.
So I think I would set up about what would we do to properly lay bodies to rest in here? There isn't a coffin or anything.
Perhaps moving the corpses into the most sanctified place, the room here.
Well, I don't want to leave them on the floor.
We can wrap them up in the body sacks I have.
It's got to be something. At this point, like this room that we're in is a dead end. We've seen the whole place now.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember.
There's a floor that
anything
goes
that
down.
we- No, we did go down. We're at the bottom.
No, we didn't.
There were two doors to the south from the first room. One led to this room, the other was a landing that then had another spiraling set of stairs going down.
Oh, well, we should explore the rest of it first.
Mm-hmm.
let's do that.
Indeed.
Okay.
Let us do that.
So yeah, you head out and into the room with the three bodies, and over to the archway with a landing for a 15-foot wide set of spiraling stairs descending into darkness. As you follow it down, it eventually comes to another landing, an open archway in front of you to a room, and to the right the stairs then continue down even further. Through the archway, you can spot what appears to be an enormous fur-covered elephant with massive curved tusks. Though it does not appear to be moving, it appears to be standing stock still, as if petrified.
Do mammoths still exist in this time period in this world?
Yes.
Okay.
In the very far, like, only like on the tundras, basically. So, like, down by the Vlormer Freehold.
I was
You know,
going to say, are there mammoths in the Peaks of Death? Because then I would probably
Yes.
know what this is.
Yeah, this is definitely a mammoth. It's just you've never seen one so still.
Hmm. Do I know what taxidermy is?
Yeah.
Okay. Does this look taxidermied?
No, it looks real.
Strange.
Probably petrified.
Wait, when you say still, is it like breathing?
No,
Okay.
it is making no motion of any kind.
Well,
I think it's
petrification usually
petrified.
turns into stone. This is like, I don't know what you would call this.
Petrification.
Petrification without lithification. Well, those just mean the same thing, though.
Cast Identify.
It's like it's paralyzed in place.
What does the casting of Identify tell me?
That this is a non-magical object.
So it's been creature to objected into what, just a mammoth, but as an object?
You can also see to the north another drape covering what looks to be an opening.
Yeah, well, the giant penny's probably back there. Shall we?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to step away for a minute, though, and use the restroom.
All right, I pull aside the other drape and see what's behind it.
Okay. Yeah, you ignore the frozen mammoth and open the drape, revealing a 50 by 50 room. The far side of it, you can see a closed pair of marble doors, and floating in the middle of the room is a sphere of white mist, kind of 5 feet in diameter, floating 3 feet above the floor in the center of the room.
Now this, when you say a sphere, is there a hard boundary to it? Is it a spherical cloud? Or is this more like...
It almost has a boundary. Like, there is a, like, if you look at it, like, edge on, you can see that there is a section where it goes from almost opaqueness through, like, translucency.
Okay.
But it's a very, it's that boundary layer is maybe only an inch thick.
So there's not a hard boundary, but there is a very regular boundary, and it's very quick.
Yes. It's a 5-foot diameter sphere with that boundary layer is only about an inch thick.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like somebody, I don't know if it was Mitra or somebody else, kind of turned this into a museum of whatever weird shit they came across. Unfortunately, the one person who might be able to find out what this is not here.
Who's that?
You. You want to find out what this is?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I meant to go to the restroom and I got distracted listening.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, why don't you,
I'll
why
go
don't
to
you
the bathroom and then I'll do it, yeah.
I was gonna say, just get a bucket, put some kitty litter in it, and call it good.
Hello?
Hey,
Hello. Gilbert had to step to the bathroom. I think they're waiting on him to do some magical investigation.
I'm back.
Good. What do you?
Detect magic. Followed by identifies.
Okay. Well, detect magic. The marble floor, ceiling, walls, doors, they're all magical with that abjurative magic. The sphere of mist, however, emanates divination magic.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
it's a giant scrying orb.
Did you say you were casting Identify?
Mm-hmm.
So you're touching the sphere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you cast Identify onto it. And there's two parts to this. First, Identify does tell you what this does. As the sphere is a magical divination device that allows creatures to see and hear, as per the clairvoyance spell, anywhere in the dungeon, but not within the towers of Set or Mitra. It can also view anywhere in the village of Mitra's Fist, and that to activate the sphere's magic, you must cast Light Continual Flame or Daylight into the sphere. Once the sphere is activated, you must merely use your action to concentrate on the desired location to view.
All right. I cast light on the mist.
Okay. And what location are you concentrating on?
The inn.
Okay. Please roll a D100. Okay. So the image warbles a bit as it then displays an image of the inn. The wrecked, burned out ruins of it. Timbers kind of having landed on it, ash mixing with the snow. There are several charred bodies laying nearby.
Um, the snow?
Yes.
We're looking at Mitra's fist, yeah?
Yes.
Does Sari get snow along the equator next to a desert?
Not normally.
Okay, what can I tell about these bodies?
Make a perception check.
I'll give you guidance if it helps.
Can I take guidance?
I just said-
Absolutely.
Well, that was unneeded.
Well, you're pretty sure one of those is Avacris, that merchant fuck that you've killed a couple of times now. The other, where is his name? It's the innkeeper, from what you can tell.
He said there's snow everywhere.
And there is snow everywhere, though. As you look at it more and more, especially with that type of perception look, you can see that it's snowing, or not snowing, that it's melting. As if something temporarily created like a snowstorm. Deposited snow that is now melting.
I look behind me. Has Sam the Frost Giant snuck off?
No, he's still there. When you look at him, he nods at that and says, "Wizardling bullshit."
How long dead do they look?
They look pretty freshly charred.
Charred?
Yes.
In the snow?
Yes. The inn looks like it burned down and then got snowed on.
Is this ash?
No, you can see like where there's ash and snow mixing together.
We did come here with the Lord's Son's retinue, right? Or is it just the Lord's Son?
Yeah, with the Lord's Son, the retinue, but he didn't have a wizard. Where the hell does snow come from?
Did he
What happened
not
to them
have...
anyway? Did they all die?
Well, do we have a means of scrying?
Yeah. I scry on the Lord's Son.
Okay, roll a d100. Okay. So it shows, the Lord's Son and several of his men. In the background, you can see the village of Mitra's Fist. Apparently not just the inn, but the entire village has been put to the torch. And they are currently in the process of digging pits to erect stakes. And you can see bodies that will soon be impaled on them.
Well, we found the fire, but where's the snow coming from?
You do see that there is like a patch of snow around the inn and only around the inn. Everything else looks like the scrubby savanna you expected.
Is
The
it?
succubus. Where's she under?
Um,
Don't worry, we already asked that, Ruffles.
Okay, so you're trying to scry on the succubus?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll a d100. The sphere goes white and returns to mist. You get the feeling that the succubus is out of range.
Not on this plane.
That's good.
I mean, it could just mean that she was threatened and fled into the ethereal. If I remember right, that's not particularly hard for succubi.
The keeper of Mitro's Tower.
Um, so it zooms over to his hut, which has been burned to the ground, and you can see his charred body there in there. Also, I need another D100.
Watch all these T100s just be temporary insanities that Duodustus is gonna start feeling after he's done with the orb.
Duodesius, what's your passive perception as you're looking at the burned body of Cornelius in his hut?
16.
You can see a glint of metal sticking out from his body, almost like he was stabbed and then the place burned.
Was this guy someone that we liked?
Mm-hmm.
Is the damage beyond the scope of something like Raised Dead?
Let me see. Yes.
Hmm.
You think you would need at least resurrection to bring someone who's that badly burned back. As Raised Dead does not restore missing body parts. And, a bunch of his body parts all over the place are missing.
Well, reincarnate if we can find a druid or a bard with the weird enough sense of priorities.
As long as you can get to him in time, reincarnate should work.
How long is reincarnate? 10 days?
Yeah.
How long have we been down here?
4.
So I can just get to the body and cast Gentle Repose, and that will buy us time. Probably stick it somewhere that's not in the place he was killed, though.
I'd like to switch the scrying eye back to the Lord's Son.
Okay. You switch the scrying eye back to the Lord and the Sun. Please roll a d100. As it switches and shows him fighting, with his sword drawn, a bunch of goblins in a forest. Mitra's fist being nowhere in sight.
Hmm. I picked the inn again.
Alright, you pick the inn. The burned out remains of the inn, the snow slowly melting, mixed with the ash, and the two charred bodies just outside. Roll a d100.
You know, I've got a thought. Why don't we just ask him how he's doing?
How so?
Sending?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'll cast sending to the Lord's Son and say it's a Flista. We were hoping to get a situation update from your end. We should be almost done here.
Okay. You get a reply. Good. We are finished on the surface. The town has been pacified.
I said this isn't quite what I was expecting, but I guess the problem has been dealt with.
Well, he says the town has been pacified.
I mean, what do they
So-
mean by that?
Well, you saw
I
what
mean-
happened.
We've seen a few things.
So they slaughtered
And
everyone in town?
Two different things involve the Lord's Son, which seem to be chronologically disjointed. So it is possible that this isn't scrying in the moment. It might be scrying through different places and times.
Is it future or is it past?
What?
I don't think we have the means to know whether it's the past or the future. We don't know when that goblin hunt was. Or if it may have been an we don't know when his fight with the goblins was. But it wasn't in Mistress Fist.
I scry on Duodecius.
We are in Mistress
Okay,
Tower. and it
So
doesn't-
there's an image of you looking at a sphere that shows an image of you looking at a sphere, of an image of you looking at a sphere.
Are we not in one of the towers it doesn't work in?
Oh, it's right. I did. It does
Excellent.
in the tower. Sorry, my mistake. It just goes white.
I was about to say,
My bad.
excellent. We've caused a DN like wave collapse.
You see an image of you looking at a sphere depicting a white and white-gray grid.
The image of Duodecius looking at a sphere from a third-person perspective was just a Flista holding up a pair of mirrors. Because otherwise it would have caused an overflow error and crashed the universe, and nobody wants that. The universe is where we keep all our stuff.
Yeah, sorry, I got a little overexcited with the description there.
I don't know, if the first portal can handle that, I think the universe will be fine.
Under. Do I need to roll D100?
Yes.
How far are we from Mistress Fist?
At least several feet underground.
It's like a several-minute journey, not like several days.
Maybe an hour. If you don't run into any problems.
Oh, tomorrow we... And we know the path up and down, right?
Who knows anymore?
So what do you guys do now?
I scry on our beholder buddy.
It remains white, and you get the sense that he is out of range. Roll a d100.
I guess he went home.
Back to the Lord's Son.
All right. Go back to the Lord's Son. Instead of the man in the armor you were expecting, you instead see a small child frolicking through grassy fields. An indulgent-looking father figure, carrying, on horseback, following in the distance.
Okay, so it is being temporally displaced.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is we don't know if that vision of the town burning down was in the future, or if it already happened at some point in the past, or if it's happening right now.
And a D100.
It's likely that they've recently finished or are in the finishing process.
Yeah. Oh well, shame about that.
We did talk to the Lord and the Lord's Son, and say that he said that their town is pacified. I can use my words today.
Hmm.
I think I need 2 long rests.
You know,
Yeah.
let's go with the Lord's Son 2 days ago.
It shows you an image of the Lord's Son. You know, again directing people to erect these pikes that and spikes. I mean that the bodies will be impaled upon. The burned out remains of Mitra's fist visible in the background. Roll a d100.
The Lord's Son 10 years from now.
The image remains unchanged. Roll a d100.
Okay, good. This scrying orb doesn't have concerning questions about causality.
How old is
Twidget
Twidget?
8 years ago, although I imagine that might not work because you're in the tower.
How old is Twidget? Was he a box of chocolate and a bottle of wine 8 years ago?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you actually specifying Twidget 8 years ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It fails. Like you get the sense it's an invalid target.
Mm-hmm.
Same that happened when you tried to view yourself.
I don't think it allows you to specify a time period. It's probably just trying to scry on him now and failing because he's in the tower.
What about Mistra and Set? Is it able to scry on them? There is a chance they're not in their towers.
Yeah. How old was their battle under? I'm drawing a blank. I'm not seeing the time ago in my notes here.
Because no one you have talked to and nothing you have found gave you a specific date. You don't know how long ago that battle was. Just that it was a long time ago.
Mitra and Set's battle.
You get, again, invalid target. You don't believe that that is a person or a location.
Right.
On the side of the battle.
Yeah, the site of Mitra and Set's battle. Oh, right. Also D100.
Mhm.
There we go.
It tells you that it is, well, basically you get a invalid target.
All right. Mitra's fist 1,000 years ago.
Okay.
Bird's eye view.
Yeah, it gives you a bird's eye view of the village of Mitra's Fist. And you can see the burned out remains of the buildings and, some figures, setting corpses onto spikes. Small smoke trails rising into the sky. Around the inn, it looks like a large bird has taken a shit on it from a great height. Just this like plop of, slushy snow slowly melting around it.
Yeah, I don't think this allows you to specify a time. I think it just shows you whatever location or person you give it, and sometimes it shows you it in the future or in the past. Or maybe just the past. I don't know. I think the temporal
Just the
aspect of it
past.
is random. Yeah.
But it's strange that it's the past.
Well, here, let me try something. I don't remember the name of even one of them. Actually, I'm not sure if this character would know that anyway, so I can't do that. Oh, dude, that's
Yeah, Ruffles, we've done something known in concrete already.
Yeah, you're pretty smart. Do you know any of the flying cities? The ancient flying cities.
Sure.
Try one of those.
It can only scry in places that are Mitra's fist or the tower. Well, or not the towers.
In places that are Mitra's fist or not the towers.
No, the range I told him was it could do Mitra's Fist, like the village, the dungeon, but not the towers.
Oh, okay, I missed that part. I thought we could do anything. Yeah, I don't know then. I can't think of anything else I would want to look at with this thing.
The end through time. So, for 1,000 years ago, it was a battle. 900 years ago, something happened. 800 years ago, something was happening, etc., etc., etc. The inn is a finite, you can establish scrying target. So 1,000 years ago, Mitra's Fist was a burnt out battlefield. 900 years ago, we don't know. 800 years ago, etc., etc., etc.
Actually, 1,000 years ago, it's the current image.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, this place is timeless.
Oh, that'd be weird.
Well, we've established it's not, though, because we have gone and come. If it was timeless, we would have never left. We'd have been stuck in the same time loop. So if you can establish a visual of Mistress Folly, then yeah, scrying the inn over time, and you can
All
establish.
right, Mitra's Folly in 300 years ago.
Yeah, you can establish a change over time.
It shows you the burned out remains of that inn, covered in snow, the two burned bodies nearby. Roll a d100.
See? It just shows the current state. The only time it's getting goofy with time is if I am scrying on the Lord's Son. Although why, I'm uncertain.
So scry on the Lord.
You can't. He's not there.
I understand that, but he may have been at one point. If
Okay.
the viewing of the
Scry on the
scrying
Lord.
is, yeah, if it's tied to the location and not the time, yeah,
I'm fairly certain it's because we're scrying on a person who's not here but was here.
Yeah, it could be if you scry on just the location of Mitra's Fist, it'll always show you its current state. But if you scry on a person, it'll show any one of multiple random times that they've been within its range.
unless that person is currently in one of the two locations that can't be scryed on, both towers.
Yeah, it just goes white. You get a sense that the target is not in range.
Okay, so he's never been there.
The Lord's Son again.
Okay, yeah, shows you the Lord's Son. Again, directing his subordinates to raise spikes. Roll a d100.
No, wait, because then it would have worked for the succubus if that was how it worked. So it can't be that either.
Other plane of existence.
Yeah,
Or
but succubus was in town at one point.
yeah, but the succubus could also be inside of one of the two towers, which makes them a non-valid target.
Maybe, or it also works like that if they're not on the material plane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know. We can test this on a different individual.
Sheriff?
Crowan, that dude, the guy from Ikristan.
Yeah.
No target in range.
And
You want me to go balls to the walls out of range? Just full dash out of range?
No, because we're currently not valid.
I know that.
Run out to a section of the dungeon between the towers.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
Okay,
I run
do
back.
that.
Yeah. So I leave the party. I run back past the guardian, and then back into the in between under. And
You're talking about that 60 by 60 room that leads
Yeah.
to the dungeon.
yeah, that's neither in the tower nor in Set's tower.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just kind of wait there for Duodecius to
I do descry him.
Okay. Let's see here. Hang on. Not a valid target. Roll a d100.
Wait, even when he's standing in the hallway between the towers?
You have no idea where he is. You don't see him. Do you wait a moment and try again?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. It shows Twidget. He's looking. He's on like a grassy knoll, looking at this large black monolith that is glowing colors. You see him put his hand on it, and a cow appears.
Ah, Lydia.
Roll a d100.
So now you can determine if the pass is something you can scry or not. Because I'm no longer within the confines of the tower, so if you specify a time period of my past.
Okay, Twitch currently.
Yeah, you see Twidget standing in a familiar flagstone room, a figure in ornate, archaic gold armor looking at him. You can see behind him the archway into the Tower of Mitra's Fist. Sorry, Mitra's Tower, not the Tower of Mitra's Fist. That's
It's shiny and fisty.
roll a d100.
And I would spend an hour away from party and then rejoin. So, however many things he wants to do, he has roughly an hour. Gilbert? Oh,
Sorry,
Swan,
had
Gilbert
some
is
stuff on mind.
dead.
I'm not dead, I just had stuff on mind. What's up?
I was saying that I'm spending an hour away from the party, so you would have the opportunity to test multiple theories for the time dilation shit.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you specify the
Twidget a
target,
year
it gives
ago.
you some. Yeah, see, it gives you random shit.
Okay. The image does not change. Roll a d100.
Twidget.
Hmm.
The image does not change. Roll a d100.
Turns out there's only like a 1% chance of something happening.
Yeah, but no offense to Under, but the meta game is he's giving you the information before you roll the D100. So
I don't think that's what the D100 is, Ruffles.
yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's the D100. The 1% is relevant to what you ask.
I know. I'm more making a joke about it probably only being on a 1%. You know, something like, my eyes melt.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking like specifying out of your scope of knowledge might be something that could have a potential outcome. Like you only met Twidget, less than a year ago.
The inside of Mitra. Hold on. Well, it was between the two towers.
The sphere goes white. You get the sense that it is not a valid target.
Hold on. I walk back up the stairs to those sphinxes.
Okay.
Hey, do any of you guys know how the scrying sphere downstairs works?
Vaguely, Mitra discussed it during its construction. It isn't scrying per se, it is more of a clairvoyance. But he could use it to watch over the village and the people in it. Though the protective magics embedded in his tower would prevent him from looking inside his own tower with it, he never did find a way to let him do that without compromising the protections entirely. Unfortunately, when Set's assault began, he also discovered that Set's tower was similarly protected. It was made by some of the finest gnomish artificers that he knew.
Any particular idea why when we scry on a person it gives us weird shots from varying points in time and place?
It just kind of does like a Leonid shrug. It is of gnomish construction. It was often complained that it was sometimes glitchy.
See, the one key dilution right now, Gilbert, is Twidget standing before the obelisk. That is well outside of Mistress Folly.
Yeah, so are some of the shots we've had of the Lord's Son.
Yeah, but those are uncertain. You know with certainty that that obelisk was not in Mistress Folly.
I think we've reached the level of
I'm
overthinking
pretty
at which
certain
it's
a
no
forest
longer
full of
possible to figure out how
goblins
this works.
aren't in Mistress Folly. Yeah.
Anyway, we should move on.
Yeah, we've padded the trail several times now, Ruffles. All right.
Unless somebody wants to cast Identify.
I believe I already did.
And yeah, he did.
What did it tell you again?
It does scrying when you cast light or continual flame or
clairvoyance.
Yeah.
Clairvoyance.
Do you want me to repeat the description?
Yes, please.
The sphere is a magical divination device that allows creatures to see or hear, as per the clairvoyance spell, anywhere in the dungeon or in the village of Mitra's Fist, but not within either tower. To activate the sphere's magic, a creature must cast Light, Continual Flame, or a Daylight spell into the sphere. Once the sphere is activated, a creature merely needs to use an action to concentrate on the desired location or creature.
Makes me wonder if there's a difference when you pump daylight into it versus light.
Okay, well, obviously
I
that
can do that.
description is not telling us all of how it works because it showed us something that is very clearly not in the present, which is not
Yep.
how that spell works.
Nor with the confines of what it can see.
Perhaps it has to do with the fact it was made by gnomes. Perhaps there's a lesson in here about staring too long into the possibilities and not actually doing anything.
Maybe if we keep staring in here, we'll learn it. No, I think we should leave and find some place to lay those bodies to rest.
Mm-hmm. What else is there to find under?
Well, there was those doors in this room that you never went through.
Yeah, we check that out.
All right, you open the doors, revealing an expansive, semicircular room laid out as if like a barracks. 15 beds line the curved eastern walls, each with a matching iron-bound chest in front of it. Several low wooden tables and a collection of chairs with stubby legs occupy the center of the room. A thick layer of dust covering everything.
We could lay them to rest here in the barracks.
With what?
I unlock all the boxes.
Widget, don't steal. Don't
I
get your
unlock all
ass
the
smote.
boxes.
Don't get smote.
I unlock all the boxes.
Well, you go over and you realize that the boxes don't even have locks on them. You can just open them.
I open all the boxes.
Okay. You find the decrepit remains of several small sets of clothing, as if sized for children.
I take all the belt buckles.
Okay. So you end up with 30 belt buckles, 156 gold pieces, and 2 banded agates worth 10 gold each.
Should give those to Sam.
Oh, the belts are no good, but the belt buckles I take. I'm sorry, 150 gold pieces? On her, G6. Okay. And more banded agates. Ironically enough, I have banded agates. I can just uptick that. Okay. More metal for the cogs of war. So, were there any parchments, documents, or any paperwork inside of all of these chests?
No.
Okay. Yeah, then Twitch takes all the shiny things.
Okay.
going through these chests and moving around in the barracks? What's the duration of the condition of the barracks? How long has it been abandoned?
Make a survival check.
I'm good at those. Shiny
A
things go
long
burr.
time.
Shiny things go burr.
Are the sheets intact?
They are intact, though you can tell that they've been like sitting there, and like when you like touch them, they basically fall apart.
Hmm.
You think that it's been maybe 50 plus years.
Okay. What about the chests? Are these big?
They're foot lockers.
Oh, yeah, that'll do. Yeah, but I'd like to move 3 of these back. We'll take them to the kitchen first so we can load them up.
Okay.
If nobody else has anything we want to do down here, I'm going to go back up there.
They're foot lockers, not yard lockers.
Uh,
I had to step away for a couple minutes. What did I miss?
I'm going to bury those 3 skeletons in the footlockers.
Homemade coffins.
Hey, that's what people did when there was nothing else, you know?
Navy burial.
Well, no, there's no ocean.
Well, yeah, but you put them in their foot locker and you yeeted the foot locker over the side of the ship.
Hmm. I was reading something not long ago about the head of like a tug company in New York, where when he died, his family wanted to bury him that way, but they didn't use a footlocker. They used a proper coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the coffin, they got a pretty nice one. It was so well made that it actually sealed and floated when they put it in the ocean. And so they had to grab an axe and just whack it until it
This
sank.
is awkward. He's supposed to sink.
They couldn't bury him at sea, and they had to like puncture it with a fire axe until it sank.
Oh, did you watch the asking for directions New York?
I did. I'm every person in that video except
I
for the person
know
asking for
but that's
directions.
New York. That's New
Yeah,
York. 100%.
That's New York, baby. Hey, bada boom
I hated it.
Why the fuck are you going to Chinatown for bagels?
for bagels.
I hated my time in New York.
Yeah, you were in New York. What'd you expect?
I'm sure New York hated your time in it too.
There's those who spend time there, and there's those who are born there.
Yeah,
And they're two motherfucking different people.
definitely.
Anyway, so we have people we burying,
Hmm.
and then we have nothing of interest in the barracks. Does the barracks have another door?
No.
Okay.
But yeah,
I just
Squash,
put-
you can take those foot lockers and go back up to the kitchen and put the bodies in them. It is trivial to do so. What do you guys do now?
I don't know the linearity of where we are in the dungeon, so I don't know if there's any doors we've missed.
Well, you haven't missed any doors, but the landing when you got to this floor, with the big, the mammoth and the scrying ball, there was, at that landing, where you came out onto the floor, the stairs did continue down more.
Ah, there's more floors. We should check the other floors.
Did we get our long rest?
No, you've not taken any rests.
Twidget runs down to the next floor.
Okay. You run down to the next floor, taking the lead. You get to the bottom of the spiral stairs. You can see here that while the floor and the walls are still made out of this white marble, you can see that they are blackened and scorched in areas. And you can see an open archway to the south that leads out into a hall.
Does the blackened and scorched stuff align with like a natural fire or more like magical combat?
This looks like there was some pretty intense combat going on.
Okay. Well, I perceive.
Like, how many wizards worth of combat?
At least 4 wizards.
Hot damn, that's some combat.
Hang on. I'm gonna pull my phone out. No. You said hot.
Devastation is measured in square wizards.
No, you said hot. Oh, I gotta turn my Wi-Fi back on. There we go. I sent. Hot.
What are you talking about?
Hot take.
Prometheus. Hot
Yeah.
take. Good gods. No, give that back.
Yeah, not gonna lie, this is fire.
It is a very fire meme. Anyway, yeah, so I continue past the combat under.
Okay. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
step out into the hall through the archway. You can see most of this hall is also covered in scorch marks and, evidence of blastings. Soot-covered doors are closed, but you can see are skewed on their hinges. So to your left and right, you can see the hall goes forth about 30 feet and then opens up to a room each way. Visible along the south wall are 2 pairs of closed marble doors, each one like at where the hall begins to open up to those rooms, east and west. You can see evidence of everywhere you see that there was like an ongoing running battle through this level.
All right. I use the ring of telekinesis, so I basically have it constantly cast to open
Not bad.
doors from distance.
Okay, are you going? What's the range in that?
30.
Okay. Yeah, so you get like a little closer to one, whisk them open.
Oh no,
Back
60
up a
feet
little-
away.
Oh, 6 feet. Okay, yeah, you can just stand there. Boink, doors fly open. Boink, doors fly open. They weren't locked.
Boink, doors fly open. Or I guess it would be bing bang. Doors fly open.
Yeah, and then with 120 feet of dark vision, just from the base of the stairs, basically what I can see before I start moving around.
You wouldn't be able to see anything different.
Yeah,
The stairs are
that's-
30 feet away. The doors you open are 30 feet away from you, and you're on a wall that you're looking at 20 feet away from you.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, yeah, there is nothing that has changed.
Yeah,
Except
I'm
that the
just-
doors
I'm
are
just-
open.
kicking the doors open to make sure there's no traps or anything like that. Then I'll start moving down and looking down into the rooms.
Okay. Which way do you go first, east or west?
West.
Okay. You start heading west. So, as you're getting to those doors you open, you can see this blasted and burned room opening up before you. An archway leading north, the open pair of double doors to the south. The chamber appears to be empty. To the north, through the open archway, you can see a stone statue of an odd hybrid creature rearing on its hind quarters that dominates that area over there. The statue has the hooved legs and a body of a horse, and a pair of outstretched feathery wings, the tips of which nearly touch the ceiling 20 feet above. The statue's face resembles that of a stoic male dwarf, complete with an impressive beard.
So just to clarify, it looks like a Centurion with Pegasus wings,
Sure.
but dwarf torso.
Sure.
Interesting. I go closer. This is
Okay.
weird.
So you're not going to look into the doors to the south?
No, there's something to look at to the north. I go
Okay.
that way.
Yeah.
Pegasus
So
dwarf.
yeah, you get closer. I might actually have an image of it. Give me a moment.
Just clarify, everybody in the party, I am 100% zonked out, so
Yeah, I can tell.
yeah, I had a good day of drinking. I do things, but I don't think about them.
So I had to crop it somewhat to avoid spoiling some stuff, but
Mhm.
here's kind of what that statue looks like.
Oh, okay, so it's a dwarf head, but there's not much of a torso. More of a it's a syllabus. I think syllabus.
What are you trying to say?
The it's hang on, let me pull up a web browser. Clicky.
A centaur?
No, a centaur has more of a torso. That doesn't have a torso. The head is where a horse
A
head should be.
lamia?
No,
Is that?
no,
No, that's the
a
snake.
snake thing.
The technical name for this is a Shadu.
Yeah, I've never seen something with like a giant human head instead of a horse head. It's weird.
Okay. So I mean, again, going back into like, we don't know Mesopotamia, but Mesopotamia.
Yes, it is a very Mesopotamian looking statue.
Yet
So
it has Egyptian hieroglyphics behind it.
yeah,
How strange.
so think like Sphinx.
Well, more like think like British History Museum. You know how they just kind of put it there because it looked good.
Hmm.
Are you saying
I
that
just love this
Mitra
picture.
went to places and stole their stuff?
I googled Shadu. This came up.
That's
I
great.
just love this picture.
Hey man, you high? No.
He's a
That-
real Chad of a fucking Pegasus.
I mean, he just looks like he's gonna spot you. Like,
That
hey man, want to get high?
Yep. Hey, I can't fly
this
very
feels
well.
like it was drawn in like the 70s or 80s.
Yeah.
But goddamn, can I run?
How high are you? No, it's hi.
Yes.
How are you?
I I know what you mean, man. I'm doing fine. Very fine. All right. Yeah, the Twidget would go right up to this thing. Like it's a carved statue, so obviously it's not dangerous, right?
No, of course not. It's just a stone statue, just hanging out in this room with nothing else, and no other ways in or out of the room.
Seems legit. Yeah, it seems legit.
And Twidget jumps up on top. He wants a closer look.
Okay. Yeah, you jump up on top of it. It is a stone statue.
That was anticlimactic.
Sometimes a statue is just a statue.
In a room with nothing else under, I don't know about this. Do you want to go inside? Why are you poking me?
Is
The
it
statue
funny?
is not poking you.
No, my dog
Oh.
is.
No, that was me.
She gave me the full boop.
Ruffles, Lydia's a cow.
My dog is Cheyenne. And does she want to go outside? Go outside? Yep. We're skedaddling to the back door. Okay. Good thing my hallway between my office and the rest of my house is very narrow, because then I can lean on the walls as I walk. Otherwise,
Don't
I'd
fall.
fall down.
Don't do that.
Alcohol. What is a factor?
Alcohol makes you alcohol.
Yes. I like that one. I'm going to
And
write that
hit
down.
the alcohol wall.
No, the alcohol wall prevents you from alcohol.
Not if you alcohol first.
I don't typically fall forward. I usually fall sideways.
Yeah, that's fucking weird. I fall down. That's where gravity takes me.
Yes, but to get down, you have to go forward or sideways.
No,
That's
I've
Twitter
seen
talk.
Sleuth fall. He literally goes straight down.
His leg just disappears.
Compacts.
Well,
I
he
start
just,
on
he
the
just
third floor and
clips
I
through the
end up.
floor.
Yeah, I start on the third floor. I end up below the basement.
Gravity was the only factor. All right.
With
Okay,
the
so
Rick and Morty bit with the
nothing
drop
peculiarly
lightsaber.
fun or interesting happens when I interact with the statue, so then I will go to the other way.
Okay, so you're going to the doors you open to the south?
Yeah.
All right. So you start walking, leaving the statue room, crossing the empty room towards the open doors. And then I need a deck save.
Oh no, the rogue has to make a dex save.
Yes.
As you
Plus it.
trip over your feet because you're drunk.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. He does, in fact, trip as he goes bonk and stubs your toe on an invisible block in front of you.
Probably half as tall as Twitchit is.
It is. But you almost got knifed over and face planted on top of it, which would have been funny. But you didn't. So yeah, you ran into something in the middle of this room that you can't see, but physically you can tell is there. And it was sturdy
Alright.
enough to stop you from walking.
I climb up on top of the invisible thing.
Okay. You climb up on top of it. You kind of feel around a bit. It's, about 3 feet wide, about 1.5 feet across, and about 1.5 feet above the ground.
Okay,
And
now
the
do
top-
ground pound.
And then I jump up and slam my butt into it.
Ding.
Okay. You hear a kong sound as if you'd landed on something metallic.
And then, Twitchit, out of options at this point, goes, "Grandpa! Invisible thing!" Like, very loudly. I don't know where the rest of the party is.
Wait, who's grandpa in this fucked up?
Your uncle, Duodecius' grandpa.
Do any of them
Beta's
know that?
golem.
And some.
Is Duodecius old?
Wait, Beta's what?
Twitchit Duodecius is old. Duodecius really isn't that old, but to Twitchit he is.
Duo's 32.
Yeah.
Which it's what, like
12.
15? Oh,
Yeah, Twitchit's 12.
Wait.
Most of you guys are
Beta?
old, but Beta's incomprehendibly old, but they're also a golem, so there is no way of determining their age. It's just how,
Golem.
yeah. It's just how Mister wants to play his character. But you can't really tell how old a golem is, but you can tell how old a 30-year-old is.
What if it was a golem made in the image of an old person?
It'd be great grandpa.
Ah.
But Mister's never specified how exactly old Beta is, so
I don't think the original Beta, who also was a robot was meant to be old. I don't know.
And was also disintegrated.
Yeah, and was also disintegrated.
Yeah, this is technically beta V2, but you know, Mister doesn't feel like typing those extra 3 characters.
Yeah. Well, he should have called her full release.
What?
You just caught on. We've been talking shit about you for the last 5 minutes.
I know. I've been listening. I've been peeling an orange, but
For 5 minutes?
I love how that's your excuse in defense. I've
sorry.
been listening, but I've been peeling an orange.
I couldn't hear her.
man,
Peeling
you
an
didn't give a
orange.
shit what you said about Beta. I don't give a damn. Beta is a golem, but she's really, really old.
Thing,
Well,
but
the
I didn't really
original
care
Beta
because I
was.
was peeling an orange.
Yeah, but the real Beta.
No, it's a
I
great
am.
comeback. I mean, look at how he derailed you with that one non sequitur. It's a great comeback.
I gotta start using that maneuver in real life.
You're lucky. I'm
know-
even paying attention.
If I was paying attention, you know, I'd waste my time peeling an orange instead of listening to you.
Mhm.
I really wasn't, but half paying attention. You
No,
wasn't
we're
doing
we're
anything
determining how old you
fighting.
were because Twidget's called out and said, "Grandpa, magic!" And when Twidget says "Grandpa," we're talking about Duodecius, but we aren't actually sure how old Beta appears. But then, you know, I also clarified that
Beta
Beta is
appears like a young
golem.
woman.
a
She
golem.
looks like a woman that's about.
She looks like a golem.
No, her face looks human. She has a real.
Yeah, but the rest of her
normal
looks
look-
like a golem.
But it's covered with her habit. You can't tell.
Made in the image of a human.
Beta is a robot.
Yeah.
Robots look like
Golem.
robots. And robots look like golems. Beta is a golem.
And golems are made in the image of people. And
Anyway,
people are made
so-
in the image of their parents.
yeah, Twidget is stomping around on this invisible thing calling out for Duodecius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's some magic. Underdark, I cast Identify on the magic.
Okay. Yeah, this is invisibility.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Twidget, you found here an invisible brick. Probably. I feel the brick. Is it a brick?
It's brick shaped,
A very big brick shape.
but it sounds metallic when you hit it.
Can you cast spell
Mhm.
magic?
Mm-hmm. I mean, use telekinesis to lift it up, with
Uh,
Twidget presumably still bouncing on it.
You told me to stop jumping on the bed.
Your spell fails to lift it up. I believe it exceeds the limits of telekinesis.
Oh god, my
1,000
sister would
pounds.
love this thing. I wish I knew where she was. She would love nothing more than a giant invisible brick for Fantasy Christmas.
Walk into town. You look like a
Mhm.
problem. Yeah,
What-
don't get me
yeah.
started.
Lugging a big hunk of nothing over your shoulder and beating people to death with it.
I take out my wizard knife and I poke it.
Okay. Tink.
Wizard knife dispel magic.
That
It's the wizard
wizard
knife.
knife.
The
Gave
wizard
him the
knife.
wizard knife.
Okay, yeah. You go tink, and suddenly you see this large iron chest, just there in the floor with Twidget standing on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Twidget,
Hmm.
stop jumping on the chest and open it.
Twidget kind of hangs over the side and looks for a lock.
There is in fact a visible keyhole.
And he picks it.
Thieves' tools. There's a click.
Well, pin 1 is set. Twidget continues picking the lock.
Pin 2 is binding. 3 is moving.
Yep. Oh, some lock picking lore.
Yeah, no, you unlock the chest.
Someone get the Oblivion mini game going.
Oh.
Wait,
Gilbert, do you know lock
Master
picking
Lock.
lawyer?
We have no
I-
lock-picking lawyer, don't we?
Does Gilbert
Yes.
know lock picking lawyer?
Yes.
That-
Nothing
okay,
on
that's
one.
what
Like
we
I
do.
know of.
That's pin 1. Pin 1 is set.
Number
and 2
3 is binding. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what Under and I were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So then Twidget, from the top kind of leans over and picks the lock. And then you're like, click, 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 click. Yeah, it's unlocked. And then continues jumping on it. Expecting it, to be like a springy bed.
All right. Well, if he's still jumping on it, telekinesis, I flip the lid open.
Okay, Twidget, deck save as the lid opens up under you, kind of sending you tumbling in the air. You do a 2.5 front flips and then land on your feet next to the chest.
I zoom over to it to see what was inside.
Inside, you see a slightly scorched wooden box, though slightly
Is it
smaller than the iron
mahogany?
box. No, it appears to be oak.
Mahogany.
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 Actually, in this part of the world, it's probably ebony. But
Giggity.
Ebony.
What's giggity about ebony?
Big black dick. Ebony.
not everything is a porn reference.
Also, that's the wrong porn reference. That's usually just BBC.
Yeah, but
Ebony.
Ebony.
Is black chick.
Ebony. Gaty.
I don't know. I usually, when I put
you
that in,
say
I usually get
ebony,
like
you usually
women.
get black girls instead of black.
Yeah, that's
That
what I'm
is
saying.
true.
You gotta put in
BBC
BBC
and
for that.
Ebony are two different things.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure what's the fuckers from Family Guy? Giggity.
Quagmire?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Quagmire would not give two shits which is which. He's
Yeah.
just looking to get laid.
No, Quagmire's more into Asian porn.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, so it'd be Mother of Pearl, not Ebony.
I always thought it was weird that they just have a character whose name is Quagmire and it's like never addressed in the show. I guess it makes sense because they're in a town called Quahog, but I don't know.
I
it's
think my
addressed.
favorite is the Quagmire's mystery bus where Stewie and Brian are pushing buttons. Don't
It is addressed in the show.
don't push
It's
any
addressed
more buttons.
He's addressed as Quagmire.
Yes, thank you.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Sleuth.
I had. I'm sorry. All right.
So, yeah,
So,
inside the iron
scorched
box is a
wooden
slightly
box.
smaller wooden box.
Twitcher pulls it out and opens it. No hesitation.
Okay. Inside, you can see several rolled up scrolls of parchment.
Twitcher begins like pulling them out, opening them, and trying to decipher what they say, and then throwing them over his shoulder, and just one by one.
Yeah, because these are all obviously spell scrolls.
Mm-hmm. That Twitcher is yeeting around the room.
No! Don't throw those.
Twitcher is grabbing them one by one and going, I don't know what that means. And throws it over his shoulder. Grabs the next one, opens it up. I don't know what that
Grabbing.
means. Throws it over his shoulder.
Grabbing. Keeps grabbing.
Yep.
Yeah, so there's 4 scrolls.
Do any of them have impact settings?
No, they're spell scrolls
Okay.
of Fire Shield, Glyph of Warding, Protection from Evil and Good, and Protection from Energy.
That's a lot of protection.
Yes.
It's almost like there's a buff setting here before the boss fight.
Why would
Well,
there be a
clearly
boss
it's
part
just-
in the good part of the dungeon?
Clearly, the answer was.
I mean, we
this
don't
is
have a save
protection for the s-
location before, so it's not the boss room.
Well, I mean, considering the fact that everything we've come across so far has said there has been a lot of conflict and combat.
It's just all its protection because of the proximity to the succubus.
Well, no, if you recall, this whole thing was like raided by the
Yeah.
by a bunch of people working for SIP.
Yeah. Also, Mister, there's a slight problem with that line of reasoning. we turned on Iron Man mode, we don't get to save when we want. We get to save at the end of the session when we hit autosave.
No, I don't like those. I don't like to play that way. I have to be able to save. Save is like
And
the
when
most
and
important
when you
game.
guys die, your save game gets deleted.
Yep,
Mhm.
Iron Man mode.
That's
Fuck that.
tactician mode.
Okay, but in all retrospective, early in the evening when I said goodnight, my headache is getting much worse. So
Have a good night.
I'm actually going to be disconnecting. So
Okay, have a
guys
good
have a
night.
good
Have
night.
fun.
If you've been drinking as much as I think you have, you should have some water.
I do have water. I am going to consume water before I go to sleep.
Yes, drink water.
Remember, you
Water.
can't wake up with a headache
Yes,
and you never go to
because-
sleep.
That's
Why are
the
you putting
plan.
so much emphasis on the H?
Water.
Water.
No, come on,
Water?
Pete. Ruin.
Say Cool Whip.
Cool. Whip.
Cool whip.
No, so you're doing it again.
Yes, Cool Whip.
Cool whip.
Or otherwise, ruin.
Okay, now go to bed.
I'm going. Good night, boys.
Have a good night.
Ruin.
Good night. So yeah, you find an invisible chest that was full of spell scrolls.
Indeed. Awesome. Copy. Paste. There we go. Copy and pasta. All right.
All right, well, so you're standing here in this room, the now revealed chest. To the south is an open pair of doors. To the east is the hall that leads to another set of rooms. To the north, an open archway with the stone Shadu statue. What do you do?
I pull out a set of dice and challenge the statue to a duel.
Have we been through that archway yet?
Yeah, that was the statue that Twidget was examining earlier.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Where have we not?
South
where's
to
the
an
back
open
on?
pair of doors you guys haven't looked in. East, back along the corridor past the stairs up to another open room.
Let's go through the first door that you just described.
Okay, so you go to the southern doors. As you look into this room, you can see the walls of the chamber are covered with peeling, blistered paint. A plaque inscribed with a list of names hangs on the southern wall. A pair of torch sconces, unlit, flank the plaque. 4 corpses, skeletons, lay on the ground clad in rusting ring mail in front of this plaque. One thing that is apparently obvious to you, though, is as you're looking at this plaque, that while the rest of the room is like charred, there's dead bodies on the ground, the plaque appears to be completely clean and undamaged. It is unblemished by the fighting.
Hmm. Well, I don't know what to make of this.
Yeah, I'll investigate the room.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, make an investigation check as you check out the room.
Aflista, can I get your assistance?
That you may. I'm gonna have to step away for a minute though.
All right, Beta, can I get your guidance?
Yeah.
All right, you take a look around.
Hold on, Under. I forgot the most important thing. My plus 11 investigation.
Okay, so that's a 24.
Yeah.
All right. So you don't find anything like secret or hidden. You just find, the four bodies, skeletal, small like children, armed in, dressed in rusting ringmail. The plaque on the wall looks like this.
I'm sure it looks really cool, and I will find out what it looks like when Discord updates.
It's a placard dedicated to those who gave their lives in defense of this place.
There we go. It's updated.
And you are right, it does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard a tale of Rugmar the Red, who came, I think, riding from Whiterun to Old Rorikstead.
When I saw like the way the placard looked, I half expected the first line to say, "Rule 1: the captain is always right."
Gilbert, that is Rugmar, but the name there is Rougemar.
Shut the fuck up, Sleuth.
What? It's his cousin. You don't want to get the mixed up.
Rugmar.
So what? The E is silent.
They call him
E does
Rugmar in the
nothing.
Red.
Yes. The E is silent.
What's next? You're gonna tell me
Yeah,
your
the G
armor
is
does
silent.
nothing?
It's Rumar the Red.
Look, yeah, it's Rugmar, and that's Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah.
A war.
And there, it's Melik the Devout. The K is silent.
We haven't heard any of these names before.
That's not
I
actually a person.
sincerely doubt it.
That's not actually a person. They're saying Melik the Devout. It's just what they're into.
You shouldn't do that.
If Randrum is the
not my
most
mom.
holy, why is this place not named after him?
I don't think they're using most in the superlative sense.
What?
I'm saying I don't think they're using most in the superlative sense.
In what sense is it being used then? How
You
is
know, like
what is
when
this
somebody said, "Oh, this is most excellent," they're not saying it's the most excellent thing ever, just that it's very excellent.
Okay, I suppose it makes sense more than Randrum the extremely very much holy.
Randrum the better than you. Or Sir
Holier
better
than
than
thou.
Randrum the slightly more holy than average.
you. Randrum the most humble.
Yeah, I wonder if Ursa Umberfist was known for having black bear hands.
Don't know. Well, they evidently missed 3 people. Those poor cooks who also died in defense of this place. Are there like coffins in here? Did they bury them in here?
No, there are no coffins in here.
Okay.
We should get the bodies in armor and put them here.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. We'll take those chests back, put the bones in them, find something to wrap them up in. If there are like a bunch of tablecloths or sheets in the kitchen, we'll use those. And then put them in here. It's as good a place as any.
Are you doing that now?
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, you guys go and grab some more, the dead bodies, wrap them up, and you bring them down and begin stacking up the makeshift coffins in this room. Nothing really interesting happens when you do that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting anything to. It's just something that should have been done, but couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Could you please run that by me again?
Run what by you?
The description.
Sure.
Sorry. My
so the
room was
walls-
getting raided by people asking about, like, did I bring home Pringles?
Well, why didn't you bring home Pringles? No. So the walls of the chamber are covered with peeling, blistered paint. A plaque inscribed with a list of names hangs on the southern wall, and a pair of torch sconces, empty, flank the plaque. 4 small skeletons laid in rusting chainmail on the ground. Though you have currently, swaddled them up and put them in empty footlockers as makeshift coffins, along with the other bodies you have found so far.
Okay, excellent.
The only other thing of interest in this room is the other pair of marble doors, which was knocked open by Twidget to the north. So one to the northeast, one to the northwest, both facing north.
How do we want to proceed?
I probably have a writing utensil of some kind on me. I'm going to add the 3 names that I forget what kind of mystical creature it was, to the wall below that placard, since they technically also died in defense of the shrine.
Yeah, as you begin writing on that, you find that your pen begins engraving the names similar to the other ones, and that the plaque begins to magically expand to fit the names as you add them.
That's interesting. Okay. Okay, there was still somewhere else in here that we didn't look, I think.
The northeast, you have not gone that way.
That's it, yeah. We go there next.
Okay. So as you walk over to those doors, you can see into the next room that sooty blast marks blemish the walls, floors, and ceiling of this chamber. And in this one, a visible iron box sits in the center of the room. Beyond to the north, you can see an open archway leading to a room beyond.
Well, let's see what's in the box.
Okay. Now you walk over. This iron box is 5 feet wide, 3 feet tall, and 2 feet deep. And this one lacks a locking mechanism.
Oh, thank goodness. I open it.
Inside, you see a stone tablet with odd writing on it.
Can I read it?
That looks like this.
Ah. I didn't know they spoke this language here.
All right. Comprehend languages.
it gives you direct translations. So fire incendiary, flaming incendiary, and other direct translations that don't really seem to make much logical sense.
Such as?
Such as I don't know Latin to translate crepitas advere unvis.
That's adure unus.
Spectre! Spectre!
Here, let me see. Crepitas.
The point is that it's not like it's prose. Common language just tells you what the words mean. It doesn't tell you what they mean.
Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra. I think that's pretty clear.
Something about fire.
Is it perhaps crepitus? T-U-S?
That's not what it says.
Yeah, but that's all that I'm getting for translations, and that's the noise from Latin.
Okay, so we have a burning noise. Perhaps someone released a fire mixtape.
A-D-Y-R-E is to go.
That is a V, which in this case is meant to be read as a U.
Yeah, so you've got incendiary fire, something, one crackling fire, two crackling fire.
Yep.
A-D-U-R-E is to burn. And duo is two. Yeah.
And unus is one.
So fire burning, crackle one, crackle two.
That being said, I'm pretty sure incandrium is not a Latin word. Because nothing's coming up for that.
Crepitas adure unus, one crackling fire. Crepitas adure duo, two crackling fires.
Okay, but
The
what the hell?
first one, Ignis Incendium, says open fire.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
I mean, the translation I'm getting from Google is Ignis Incendium is incendiary fire. Ignis Incendaria is Ignatius, like the name.
Okay, well that doesn't make any sense.
I'm just telling you what Google tells me, because this is as much Latin as I know, is to plug it into Google Translate.
No, you got to plug it into Wiktionary.
And then Crepitas adure unus is one crackling fire. And Crepitas adure duo is two cracklings.
Maybe there's pork. Yeah, something about burning once and twice. I don't know.
Burning fire, one crackling fire, two crackling fire. It's the best translation I can come up with. That's probably localized to actual English.
Let's see. I know they don't gender their words in that precise manner. Because really, the only difference between the two, other than Unus and Duo, is Incindrium and Incindria. Is this magic?
It is not.
Where was this located?
Inside that iron box.
Where we find out it's a spell tablet for Incendiary Cloud from before the paper was invented.
Hmm. I shall take this with me.
Okay, it weighs 60 pounds.
Oh, I see. It's gendered differently because it's an adjective.
So it's describing something burning?
It's describing something either male or female burning. Though it's the only gendered thing anywhere on this tablet, so it doesn't really make sense. None of this makes sense.
Under, I should like to investigate this chain. Well, this tablet.
Okay. Make an investigations check.
Flisto, may I get your assistance?
You may. I shall allow it.
Beta, can I get your guidance?
I mean, I suppose. I got nothing else better to do with it.
35 under nat 20.
So
That shit.
you're looking at it, it looks like this was kind of hacked out and taken from some other larger piece. And as you look at the stonework and the writing on it, it actually is more of a match to what you saw in the Black Tower than the White Tower here.
Hmm. But what could it be? Ah, a mound of burning shit. Of course.
It's a tablet descriptions of a burning bag of dog shit left on Set's doorstep.
I take a
Yes,
rubbing of it.
Incendrium.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can easily take a rubbing of it.
Very cool. Well, I guess we should proceed. Onwards.
All right. Well, the only place onwards is the open archway to the north. And when you go there, You can see that the destruction in this chamber is complete. Scorch marks and a thick layer of soot cover all surfaces. Ash and piles of charred wood lie scattered across the floor of this dead-end chamber.
Okay, I do want to wake up at a reasonable time tomorrow. I think I gotta go to bed too.
All right. Have a good night, Pete.
Have a good night. I shall investigate the chamber.
Make an investigation check.
All right, Fallista, can I get help? And Beta, can I get guidance?
Yep.
Yep.
So as you're poking about, when you're in the western wall of this chamber, you notice that your hand passes through the wall for a section of it, and you think that it is an illusory section of the wall.
Wizard knife.
All right, you poke it, revealing an archway, and as red light kind of spills out into this chamber. Through this archway that's right in front of you, you can see that unlike other areas on this floor, this bare chamber is unmarred by scorch marks, and a soft red light illuminates the chamber's pristine walls. Okay. You can see that the light is emanating from a crystal set into the center of the ceiling of this 30 by 30 chamber.
We should check it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys can all walk in there.
Investigate.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Yo, guys, can I get my shit from you?
A systems.
All right, as you're looking about, you do discover that there is something written on the wall, but the colored light kind of is making it really difficult to see.
What color is the light?
Red.
If we cast like the light cantrip, would that make a brighter, more white light? That would make it easier to read or something.
It might help.
I'll go ahead and try that with one of my knives.
Okay, you do so. And it does make it a little bit easier. as this is what you can make out on the wall.
Hmm. Does anyone have the darkness spell?
No.
All right. I don't know if this will work, but I do have a 10-foot blind sight. I'm gonna just close my eyes.
Okay. You close your eyes.
It's the closest to darkness we have without like sticking a coat over something.
Beta, Duodecius, and Eric, you guys see Afflista disappear when he closes his eyes. Afflista, your blind sense would tell you that those guys aren't there anymore, and that the room you're standing in is much larger. What's the range in your blind sense?
10 feet.
Yeah, it's at least that big.
All right, then I'll open my eyes.
Sure. And you see some things. But what does Beta, Duodecius, and Eric do when they see you
Well-
close your eyes and then disappear?
Hello.
What I do is I take the wizard. No, how high up is that crystal?
20 feet.
Uh,
Floor to ceiling,
s-
20 feet.
Sister Beta, Eric, lift me up on your shoulders.
Okay.
Can I jump up and hit it with my wizard knife?
Roll to hit.
Hit it with the
Second.
wizard.
All right. That's not a plus anything weapon, is it, Under?
No. It's a dispel on a hit. How much more do you want?
I had to check because I just got some
Okay,
info.
roll
from-
damage.
Oh no.
+5 dagger with a -5 to hit and damage.
So you stab this glass fixture, which shatters. The light goes out. And, yeah, I need deck saves from Beta and Eric to dodge the falling shards of glass.
Yeah. Wow.
You both fail and take 1 point of slashing damage from the falling glass.
Oh, just one. Good.
Yeah, just one. It's like a light bulb that got blown up above you. You know, it's not. It'll leave some nicks, but it won't, critically take you out unless you're already near death.
I can't say I'm personally very familiar with that. I've never blown up a light bulb over my head.
Well, I didn't mean to. Anyway, and then you suddenly find yourselves standing next to Afflista in a different chamber. This chamber is brightly lit and is constructed of pure white marble. The curved walls are delicately worked with a host of ornate angels, clerics, and other holy creatures. Circular niches to the north, the east, and the west each contain a 20-foot tall statue, and a circle inlaid with silver is engraved on the center of the floor. Inside the circle, at each compass point, is a depression of a different shape: a circle, a square, a triangle, and an octagon. Unlike the other parts of this tower you've been in, this chamber is immaculately clean. There is not a speck of dust visible. The northern statue depicts a toga-clad titan with wild hair but a neatly trimmed beard. The Sam is with you guys, and he would point out that is in fact looks to be a an image of a stone giant. A storm giant, not stone. Storm giant. The west statue depicts a human man wielding a longsword and wearing ornate plate armor, while the eastern statue depicts a beautiful woman.
You cut out under.
No, that's the whole description. It's a beautiful woman.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
She's not
okay.
wearing any armor or anything like that. She's wearing a dress.
So there's a statue of a storm giant and a woman.
There is
And
to the
a
north
warrior.
is a storm giant. To the west is a man in armor with a longsword, and to the east is a woman in a dress.
Hmm. Does a man, a woman, and a storm giant have any significance as like parties of notable figures in history or religious texts?
Nothing that would stand out here.
Hmm.
Like, there are lots of stories that have a man in armor, a woman, and a giant, but nothing that would seem to be relevant to this. Did it really not like that image I posted? Let me try this. There we go. That's much easier to use.
That does look like a pretty nice belt that giant has.
Sam agrees it is in fact a nice looking belt.
All right.
Are there any designs
Huh?
on the statues that match the designs on the floor? Didn't you say that there's like 4 points of the directions has different?
Yes. Yeah, to the north is the storm giant, to the west is the armored man, to the east is the woman.
Oh, that's it.
And when you came into this chamber, you were standing on the compass.
What's to the south? Just stone wall.
It is just a stone wall.
All right. Well, Aflista, being an unarmored woman, is going to go to the unarmored woman statue and see if anything happens.
Nothing happens.
Hmm. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Let's see. The woman statue glows with divination magic. The western statue does not glow with any magic. The section of wall to the south glows with illusion magic. And the northern statue, the belt, glows with an undefined school.
I will pass that along and start casting Identify on the statue of the woman.
Okay. You cast Identify on the statue of the woman. It comes back and tells you that the statue is affected by commune.
Commune.
Mm-hmm. You think there might be some way to trigger it where you could get the benefits of it, but Identify doesn't tell you how to do that.
Divination ritual for clerics. your deity or divine proxy. Up to 3 questions with yes or no answer. This is still on the Mista's side of the towers, right?
I mean, the room's all white marble, so you would presume so. You know, the other side was all black stone and, hard angles and the like.
All right. How about the belt? I'll go ahead and identify that.
Okay, you walk up and cast Identify on the belt. Here, I'll send you what it tells. In case, you need to want to keep the secret.
Ooh. All right. Well, we should probably try and get in touch with Mista or some proxy who would be running this place before we start taking stuff. But note to self, how we got here. So we may have the means to commune with a unknown deity or deific proxy with the statue of the woman. This belt is something to look into later, and illusion to the south.
I forgot one other thing. The compass inlay is conjuration.
Ah, all right. I assume that's just how we got here, but I'll go ahead and identify that as well.
Teleportation circle.
Yeah, all right. Can I note down the coordinates for this? How to get here?
One moment. Let's see. Mitra's Tower, Mitra Tower, Mitra Tower. Where did I stick that? World map actually would be faster. Alright, so the runic sequence is
All right. All right, and then I'll go touch the south wall where it was pinging with illusion magic.
Yeah. Yeah, as your hand kind of passes through it, it turns translucent and you can see a closed pair of marble doors there.
I'm assuming detect magic has long worn off by now, so I'll go ahead and recast that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you still see that illusion magic in front of you. You can tell that, but you can look through it and see the doors. You don't see any other magic.
All right. Onward, son. Question mark.
What do you do?
I'll just go through the doors. I'll open
The-
them
Yeah,
slowly and
you
try
go
and
up,
keep it
you
quiet.
push on the doors, they don't move.
Is there
Hmm.
a visible lock?
There is not.
Is it a pull door?
You don't see any hinges, nor do you have handles to pull with.
Hmm. Well, I can always politely knock and ask if we can go through, but if we're trying to be at all quiet, that won't work. Bill, any ideas?
No stealth. Let's go right in.
All right, I will politely cast knock on the door.
All right, you cast knock on the door. There is a knocking sound. The doors remain shut.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Did I identify this door?
You did not identify it. It is not showing up as magical under Detect Magic.
No, but if it's not being opened by knock, it's possible that something is holding it shut and then cast a magic aura over it to mask it from detect magic.
Do you cast Identify on it?
Yeah.
All right, you go up to the doors, put your hands on them. Identify. Tells you it is a non-magical object.
All right. There's another possibility. I'm just going to physically knock on the door and see if it's just a facade and it's just a wall.
You knock on the door. Um, it does not sound solid. Like it sounds like it's a door. Like there's space on the other side.
I don't know. We can just try and break through it, but
Are we sure the door's not, say, connected to these statues in any way?
um, it's possible. Don't know what commune would help with. So unless they're a mechanical lock, but we don't really have any hints of how to work that.
Hmm.
Do we know which deity or which oaths Mitra was a paladin of?
He was an oath of devotion to the whole pantheon.
Oath of devotion. All right. So assuming this is a room in the Mitra side, it could be any deity or deific proxy that's on the other end of this commune spell.
Mm. Sorry, I'm trying to think. My brain's just shutting down. All right. Let's see. Okay, so the statue has commune, but there's nothing on the other statues.
The statue of the woman has commune. Statue of the man is not magical. Statue of the giant has a belt of belt of storm giant strength. But I think we should avoid taking that until we can get someone who has authority here to give us permission, because I don't think a room that may have deities watching getting robbed would pass over very well.
Sounds right to me. So what we need to do then is okay. Is there a limit to that commune?
Beyond the normal limitations of commune, I don't know.
And that's yes or no questions.
Yes or no questions. They're going to be asked of a deity or a deific proxy. Mitra was a paladin of the pantheon as a whole, so we don't know which deity it is likely to be.
Is the way to open this door in this room?
If you're asking for the commune spell, we don't know how to activate it, because a commune has a range of stealth. The statue is acting like a holder.
Try touching it and asking.
Okay, you touch it, you ask your question, nothing seems to happen.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try closing my eyes again to see if that only through darkness can you perceive thing is still a hint here.
Where are you standing when you do that?
By the door. I'll
Okay.
just walk around the room with my eyes closed if there's anything going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you close your eyes, start walking around the room. Eventually, as everyone's watching you, when you cross over the compass with your eyes closed, you disappear. And you find yourself, Sleuth, standing in that small, previously red room. Bits of glass crunch underfoot.
I see. Alright, I'll open my eyes and close them again.
Yeah, a moment passes. You appear back in the room.
Alright. Well, found the way back.
Excellent. how to get forward. Under, could you describe the room to me again?
Sure. So the chamber is constructed of pure white marble. The curved walls are delicately worked with a host of ornate angels, clerics, and other holy creatures. Circular niches to the north, east, and west each contain a 20-foot tall statue. A circle inlaid with silver is engraved into the center of the floor. Inside the circle, at each compass point, is a depression of a different shape: a circle, a square, a triangle, and an octagon. To the south was a solid wall, but that proved to be an illusion, which was a closed pair of marble doors. The north statue is that of a toga-clad storm giant with wild hair but a neatly trimmed beard. The west statue is a man in armor wielding a longsword, and the eastern statue is a beautiful woman maiden dressed in a dress.
Do any of the statues bear any of the markings that match the compass points? Like the star, the thing, any of that?
Yes. There is a circle kind of engraved on the woman. The square is engraved on the storm giant. The triangle, the man with the sword. The doors don't have the octagon engraved on them anywhere.
Ooh, okay. Let's try standing on the compass point that matches the statue then. The recurring symbol.
Okay, so you stand on the eastern, tine of the compass. Doesn't seem any different.
Close your eyes.
No, no. We should go there, and then try to ask the statue a question.
Okay, so you stand there, and what are you asking it?
If the way to open this door is in the room.
Nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
Can the statues turn?
They appear to be fixed in position.
So the woman has the circle, the guy has the triangle, the giant has the square. Do those shapes correspond with their positions on the map?
Yes.
Not the map. All right.
Yeah, like the square points at the square, the triangle points at the triangle, and the circle at the circle.
We can table this room for now. We do know how to get back here. I'd say we head back for now. I don't think beating our heads against this puzzle is going to get us anywhere in a hurry.
Why head back? Why not rest here? It's secure.
It's moderately secure from people who don't know how to get here. We stumbled into it.
Yeah, but how many henchmen are going to be dumb enough to fall for this? Besides, we can put up Lehman's.
Yes. If we stumbled into it, then a henchman's going to be able to reach it.
We are very skilled at our jobs.
We are very skilled at our jobs, mostly fumbling our way through something and finding weird rooms like this. That doesn't mean that these rooms are well protected. All we had to do was find a sign that said to close your eyes, and then we closed our eyes. You don't use a bush for cover for this reason. It's concealment. We're out of sight, not unreachable.
That's why we put up the tiny hut.
Still not unreachable. Half of our party could get through a tiny hut in a matter of seconds. It's not the worst place, but there's also only one way out if we do get ambushed.
Fair enough. Let's back up then and take a snooze.
Where do you go?
Close your eyes and go back to previous room.
Yeah, you guys can close your eyes and appear back up in the previously red room. Then where do you go?
Sleuth, you make the call. My brain's shutting down, man.
We're in the set side of the tower, right?
No.
Okay, I was.
We're in the Mitra. We're on the Mitra side of the tower. That's why I thought we should sleep in the prior chamber, because this is the safest building.
Oh, yeah. Well, if we're in the Mitra side, then anywhere should be just about as safe as the next. Unless you want to go back to the room with the, what was it called? The not centaur guy. Shidu.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, well, you can go there. That's fine. Walking through the soot-covered and blasted part of this floor to the room with the Shadu statue. Is that where you're going to take your rest?
Yes, Lehman's tiny hut.
All right. You erect a tiny hut and begin your long rest. And I think that is where we will call it this evening.